Hi, I'm Miles.
And I'm Merika.
And this is I Don't Know What I'm Doing.
'Cause we don't. My fail was, oh god. So, I work at a university and I work in the admissions office and I make people go to school, and I'm working with a student religiously for the past 2.5 months. He has this benefit where basically he can get to go to school for free for 2 years because the company that he worked for moved to foreign soil, so the government pays for free education.
To foreign soil?
Mm-hmm. Moved to foreign soil.
Another country?
Yeah.
I've just never heard it referred like that. To foreign soil.
Oh, well, that's the technical term, Miles.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's like an army term.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But that's what I read on.
I mean, I like it. It's just so okay.
Online. So basically he has to this whole process of trying to get this fucking voucher. This office that we have to deal with in Tennessee, they keep asking for the same shit over and over again. Or when we send something, they're like, okay, this is good, but we also need this. I'm like, couldn't you not tell us in the big everything you fucking need? Nope. So part of enrollment, part of getting accepted into DeVry is getting proof of graduation. So he got his GED. He had this little card thing, and he took a picture of it. That's so part of getting accepted into DeVry is proof of graduation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you have temporary proof, which basically is a student sends a picture of their diploma. Mm-hmm. That's what he did. He had a GED, so he had this little card so that he got it, whatever. So he sent me a picture. So that's temporary proof. That will get you accepted. Okay, so I have to request the official copy though, and there's just a little check mark in Salesforce that you have to just click.
Salesforce is the program you use?
Yeah. So, and that goes to the registrar office, and they, obtain a copy or whatever, an official, copy. So, I did not do that.
You didn't check the box.
I did not check the box. So, guess when class starts?
Ooh, so
we finally got this fucking voucher on Friday. Mm-hmm. And we were going to register him. We're all set to go. And then my manager is looking through his file, and it's he's missing this. It's oh my god. And I'm freaking out. I almost cried. I felt like I was going to throw up. Oh,
it's one of those oh shit moments.
Yeah. So, he's been waiting so long. We've been working so hard for this, and finally it was me that fucked up, and I feel terrible, and so he might start, he might not. My boss is leaning towards him starting, but yeah, it's really nerve-wracking, and I really hope everything turns out to be okay, and everyone around me says it will, but I'm this is me we're talking about.
So that's a to be continued.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know. Mine, I've just been really lost with this home stuff. I was let me try to be responsible, so I typed up a list of all the questions I had, and I emailed them to my family. And I was can you just anything? I was can you paint tile? How do you take a doorknob off? How do you change knobs in a faucet? And I emailed my family, and of course my older brother Graham was I am not going to be of any help to you because I would just hire a man in, a handyman. Mm-hmm. I was great. And then my dad, he only answered someone who was really funny. I was can I paint tile? He was no.
Miles, no.
I just had to ask. I just had to ask.
Okay.
And I'd be how do I change the faucet? He's you need a plumber. Okay. Can I just
go on and just YouTube this.
I know. No, my dad, of course, my dad's not going to suggest YouTube. But it was more, I felt really, insane. I was at Home Depot yesterday. I was I feel whenever I, go to the apartment, I'm I keep feeling I need to, trying to be working on it and doing stuff. So I was like, let me go to Home Depot. Like I got there, I was like, let me just get some stuff I need to like paint and like clean the wood and stuff. And then I was just like, oh God, I feel like I'm at a grocery store and I've never eaten food before. Like I don't know how to shop here and I don't know where anything is. And I'm like asking people, I'm like, where is like Murphy's like wood oil soap cleaner or whatever it's called? And they're like, wood glue? I'm like, no, like wood soap. They're like, I can't help you, man. And I'm like, and then I'm like in the cleaning aisle and I'm just like trying to find like hemp oil and I'm like, everything is called like wood something, but they don't say what the oil is. And I was like, I like wish I had like a husband right now. Like I wish I had somebody else that was with me that could like help me. Like I feel like I'm back to college shopping and I don't have like my mom. That's like
cleaning wood, like hardwood floors.
I bought like Murphy's, no like the woodwork, but I just
vinegar and water.
That's not how I would use to clean the floor. Well, so my dad told me to buy like Murphy's wood oil soap oil thing, and I bought that. But then when I got back to the condo, I was like, oh, it's already here because like the guy that owned it left stuff. So it was just like 3:30, which is not a good time for me because that's when my like nap time. So I was just like tired and confused and didn't want to do this and was like, I need help. And
nap time? You have that?
That's my low point in the day is like 3 or 3:30. That's when I'm like the most tired and like low.
Is that scheduled?
It's just that's when my energy is at its lowest. Like that's if I were a coffee or caffeine drinker, which I'm not. That's when I would be like needing the caffeine, but I just like I usually just push through it. So we have a guest today, our second guest ever.
Woo!
John Wolfe is someone that I've known since college, and then lived in Chicago with after college, and he's like an artist and like a musician and like
audio engineer
because he's like helping us right now. But he's just like really great.
It comes out, it sounds like shit. Or like, what happened to the audio? You're like, this guy.
Another one of Miles' friends. I have no friends.
Yeah. So welcome.
Sure, tons of friends.
Welcome, John Wolfe.
Yay!
Hi. How you guys?
Good.
And our topic today is I don't know how to shut up.
Especially me.
'Cause we don't.
I think maybe all three of us.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's how our podcast exists, though.
It's kind of crazy because I feel like I'm on this trip right now and like whenever I go on a trip, I'm like, well, you know, maybe I'll try and be like more quiet. Be someone who, you know, kind of more wallflowery, you know?
Yeah.
And then I just start talking. I just never stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, because your like boyfriend is quieter.
Well, that's true. I do have a quiet boyfriend, and
you have a good balance, though.
That's true, I guess.
Well,
I think also you two have you have more of a good balance than maybe you purport. Like, you're both talkers, but you're not, it's not that you can never shut up.
Yeah, we don't.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. What about you at work, Marika? What are you like at work? Do you talk up a storm?
When I'm talking to a student, like, I have to interview them and, like, ask them, like, why are you going to school? And what's your motivation? And, like, what do you want to study? Yada. But, like, if I'm talking to a good student that I'm building a relationship with, I'm like, oh, my God, you are amazing. Like, I'm such a hype man for them. Like, you know, like, you did this.
Oh, that's so cute, though. That's exactly what they need.
Are you kidding? Look at all the hard work you did. Like, already. You're already studying? What the fuck? I never did that. I don't say what the fuck, but, like, I give my personal experience. Like, I never did that. I failed the class. I did not. Good
You
for
like
you.
use your failures to like boost them.
Exactly. So you go. But like at work, I'm very. I don't know. I feel like I'm loud when I'm talking to a student, but people are like, "No, I never hear you." I hear other people from across the room sometimes, or like other from a few cubicles away.
You're in a cubicle?
Yeah.
I do feel like I have two volumes which are like incredibly loud or incredibly quiet. I'm either mumbling or I'm like screaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's good. That's good though that you're like so much of a talker for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's better to be more. I don't know. I guess they both have their advantages. But like, say, Miles, do you at your job are you like always like talking it up? Or do you,
Um,
like, keep yourself more?
I mean, we're always all talking up because like advertising is so like
Oh, that's
we
true.
actually our office is compared to a lot of other agencies is more quiet. And that was one of the surprises when I started working there. I thought it was gonna be really loud and rambunctious, but it's like quite quiet often. But yeah, I mean, I like joking, like making jokes, and like I work with my one coworker Kim, and like she's really easy to joke with, so I just like kind of joke with her all day. But I remember I took like some like lame BuzzFeed quiz like a few years ago, and they were like, it was like your workplace personality, and they're like, you're like fun, but you can be distraction for people, and I was like, oh shit. So then ever since that, I really like, I try to be like, are they working right now? Am I interrupting them? I don't want to interrupt them. Like they help
Good
me
on you.
check it.
Wait. I'm sorry. You're basing off of that from a BuzzFeed quiz?
Yeah, you can get self knowledge anywhere.
True. I think, but that is such a thing though when you're at work and you're talking to someone, and even when you are a talker, then that other person starts taking it too far, and you're like, do you not know that this is going on too long? And at what point do I have to like stop you?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
So it's good to like have that self knowledge.
I mean, yeah, but I didn't base like from a BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
BuzzFeed
is-
is like, you know, sometimes legit they have good news. Like, you know, they like cracked that tennis gambling thing. You ever hear about that? Like people were throwing games on purpose.
No.
Yeah.
Mario tennis?
No, yeah. Mario tennis. And Mario Kart, also another Rainbow Road.
You hate Rainbow Road.
I
Everyone hates
hate-
Rainbow Road.
okay,
It's
that-
like
Fucking
It's
Rainbow
not
Road.
even-
I actually
The new
love
one,
Rainbow
the new
Road.
one is better. On the Switch is way better. Okay, I like the new one because
it's not even like that pretty.
Wait, I'm sorry. Everyone hates the original Rainbow Road?
Are
From
you
SNES,
kidding me?
from SNES, like Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's just Rainbow Road's so hard. Especially the original
hard.
Super Nintendo, it's sharp turns, like 90-degree turns.
Yeah.
It's like really
And
hard
then
to turn.
and then before the turn, it has that little sparkly road thing that makes it go super fast, and you're like, fuck.
I'm just.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like it amps you up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? I have to turn as I'm going really fast. Fuck you.
But you can do those big jumps on it.
Ugh.
I
mean, it's aesthetically pleasing, but like,
And yeah,
no.
I was gonna also say I'm gay, so
Mm.
pride, you guys.
It's over. June
Yes,
is over.
It's July. No more Pride for 11 months.
Right. Pride's over. Stop being proud. You had your month.
Speaking of Pride, I really respect like Adam Rippon because he knows when to stop talking. Like he's really good at a pause for effect. Like he'll be talking, he'll pause, he'll do his like classic Adam Rippon like facial expression, or he'll even look to the side and then he'll turn back to the camera and deliver the punchline.
I'm so impressed how you brought the topic back.
Yeah.
You really pivoted it back and like.
And who
I
is
feel
Adam
like
Rippon?
Adam Rippon is the ice skater. He's like 28.
Oh yeah.
He's essentially a Miles type, is what I was saying earlier.
And that's the biggest compliment. I want to learn how to
Is-
pause more, like him. Like
Yeah.
Because then people are like, "What's he gonna say?" Like people like
Yeah.
lean in, and you're like, "Well, bam."
Well, and he also has like a little
Savage.
smirk where he's like, "What's he gonna say next?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like he has
a
some.
smirk.
Yeah, he's got that little tantalizing smirk, which makes me sound attracted to him, but I'm not attracted to
You're
I
him.
mean,
not?
would you kick him out of bed?
He's too. He's just. I mean, he looks like you, Miles.
Whoa.
Thank you.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not
No,
saying
I
that
know.
Miles is unattractive, but it's like you know.
You guys, I know that John's not attracted to me. Okay. I've always done that.
Actually, no. Actually, let me say that when I would see you in college, like walking around campus,
Mhm.
I was thinking about this the other day. I'd be like, "Who is that striking gentleman?"
Oh.
I seriously.
Okay, I'm sorry. Striking
It's a-
gentleman?
Well, I don't
Is
know
that
if I don't know the
phrase that you
phrasing
had
of
in
my.
your-
Some of your thoughts.
Oh my god!
I don't know if the phrasing was exactly so,
Whoa.
but I would see you from far away, and you have like very like distinct
Yeah.
features, but in a very, very handsome way.
Yeah.
So like we're like a classically handsome way.
I had a
Which,
crush
like-
on Miles.
Yeah, so I would see you from far away, and I'd be like, oh, that.
Like, now I've seen the real you, and...
No. Oh, I just think you're even cooler now.
Oh, compliment hour.
Compliment hour. Talking too much. Adam, rip on. Not to
Has someone
a
ever-
way less good transition than
Have
this previous.
y'all ever been told that you talk too much?
Yep.
By whom?
Like various people throughout my life lately have been told that I interrupt a lot on this podcast.
What? No. I've been interrupting you this whole time. I feel like.
I mean, I see where this person's coming from, but like at the same time, like I asked Miles, like, do I interrupt you? And you're like, no.
No, because I listen and I edit it and stuff, and I feel like we just like interrupt each other a normal amount because you're just trying to get your point in, or
Right. Trying to.
Or you don't want the conversation to turn until you've said what you want to say.
Right, exactly.
I think when you're in a group of people who all talk too much,
yeah,
you're all used to like leaping in when you feel like you should.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I really notice it is if I'm in a group of like 4 other people who are like that, and then I get sidelined, and then I'm like, oh, this is like what I'm like. You know what I mean?
Poor introverts that are like,
Oh
okay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
I'm always like, when that happens to me, I'm like very anxious. I'm like, no, I want to say what I want to say. Like, no, I can't get, I can't like squeeze in there.
And it feels like worse and worse
Oh
because
my
the
god,
more you do that,
it's so awful.
the more that it seems like the group is just like the walls, like the Indiana Jones, like walls are closing.
Yeah.
You're like, no, let me get it in there.
Yeah.
No. And then it passes. Like, god damn.
I will
Exactly.
fucking memorize my point, and then like 20 minutes later, be like, but wait, so I want to talk about glow ups. So just
Glow
bring
ups.
it back in.
Oh my god,
Oh
glow
my
up.
gosh.
Have
Always
you guys
like so orange.
had an experience where you like didn't need to say something that you did, or like you said it and you're like, oh shit?
I'm way better about it now than I used to be. I used to never think before I spoke, and I still am not that great of it. But like, say with that thing that happened, I feel like I was half aware of it as it was happening. Where it's like there were points where I could have turned around.
I can
And
see
I
that
was
on your face.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm just gonna
Doesn't
go
matter.
for it. And it doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
like at some point, it's like because I also had another friend recently who got married, and it was also quasi secret in that they didn't make any announcement of their engagement. It was a very small wedding, like, whatever. But yeah, I just feel like at some point you're gonna get married and everyone's gonna know. So it's like what's the point of it
Yeah.
being like a weird secret?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? Have you ever said something where you, Miles?
I don't think I've let anything slip. I think about like I think about I was like at work a few months ago, and I was like I hadn't eaten breakfast yet. I always eat breakfast before work, but I was running late, so I was like I'll just eat it at work. So I was like hangry, and then my coworker was like, let's go around the horseshoe shape of our office. Like, let's go to the other side and get free bagels because it's Friday. And she walked in the opposite direction I thought she was going to walk. And I was like, I thought we were going to get bagels. Like, so evil. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you just screamed at me. And I was like, no, I'm just hungry. I'm sorry. I was horrified for like hours at myself.
Oh my god.
Because I sounded so like ugly.
No, like,
I'm so tickled by that. I guess I can't ever see you doing
Oh
It was like
God.
insane.
I mean, it's happened to me like a few times where my tone, I'm like, oh shit, did not mean to say it like that or phrase it like that. Oh god, but I'm like, there it is, standing in the air.
Tone is like a trigger word for me because I've had so many conversations with people about my tone. Where they're like, your tone. I'm like, what tone? What are you talking about?
It's so hard to be. It's so hard to be. We've talked about this on the podcast before, but it's so hard to be aware of your own tone,
Oh yeah, about your tone.
of how you come across, and
Do you think about it more now that you edit the podcast?
no, because I think like this is like where I don't know. I feel like on this it sounds
fine.
Fine.
It's always, I feel like it's like more, I always find it, at least with me, it's like businessy situations because those I'm always unsure how much I should be like of myself. If
Your
that's,
true
like,
self.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, how, like, where does professionalism and like, because I'm like
I
just
know.
not a very professional person.
Wait, so
In
when,
the age of Me Too.
so when people comment about your tone, what did they say?
Well, like, say, I mean, this is like ages ago, but when I was in high school, my dad would always be giving me lectures about my tone and like teachers and stuff, and I'm like, I just like disrespectful. Like, I think maybe like depressed. And like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, it's always been difficult for me, but even now still, like, I'll get in like with my boyfriend, if we ever get it, like, we don't really fight very much, but if we ever fight, it's because I said something and I said it in a way that was like shitty, and it's like, I did not need to be like that. I just can't.
Yeah.
How about you and your tone?
Yeah. Oh God, I don't really hide that. I mean, like, it's just like, for me, it's not even like what I say. It's like my facial expressions that give me away. And like, okay, so this, I mentioned it before in the podcast, but like, there's this one coworker that I'm annoyed by, and I was like, you know, she said something to me, and I like rolled my eyes, and I was like helping somebody else, and they're like, it's like, what? It's like they kind of like, they thought I was rolling my eyes at them. And it's like, no, sorry. Like, I was just rolling my eyes at her. Sorry. Like, and they're like, oh, okay. Like, yeah. So, yeah, I just, like, you know, I say some things, though, that I'm like, I'm hesitant to say, and I just say them sometimes. I'm like, oh, crap. And then I replay that over and over in my head again. Yep. Because until the end of time, because that's how guilt works.
I have gotten better about that very recently, where I like now I'm like, I think I read some stupid internet article or something, which was like, you only allow yourself like 30 seconds to think about it, and then it's like you're done or something. And then now I'm like, if I think about something too long, I'm like, I just have to like get in the habit of like placing a wall where I'm like, I will not think about it anymore past that, because it's just not productive.
Yeah, I do, but I think about it.
It's like, yeah, any sort of advice like that, it's like, well, how's that actually gonna?
I know.
Putting that into practice is a whole nother thing.
Oh God, it's just a really bad habit that all humans have.
Oh yeah.
But no one really talks about it, so.
I feel like a time when people talk too much, and I definitely talk too much, is like on the first date. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you, at least for me, like, I don't want any silence is awkward because you don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to fill it, but then it just gives the first date like this weird, like, breathless, tiring energy that is not good.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But also, I do this, like, when I've been on first dates, I'll just, like, ask questions throughout the whole thing, because I just don't want to feel like I'm talking about myself the whole time.
Right.
And then what will end up happening is we'll walk away and they won't know anything about me. Like, totally the opposite, where, like, I'll know, like, their entire life story, and they'll just, like, have talked at me for like an hour.
What about your date with Paul? Your first date?
I think if you're on the right first date, there's a chance that you don't think about that stuff as much, because you should have some sort of rapport that, like, ideally, if it's someone who it's going to, like, work out with in some longer term thing, you won't be, like, struggling. Or if you are struggling, it's because you're, like, you know, have the feelings.
Butterflies. The feels.
Right. But it won't just be because, like, it's like, oh, what do I say to, like, this guy?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Or, Miles, have you been on a date recently? Well, not to change it, but did you talk too much on this date? On your most recent date, what was the talking like?
The most recent date is the one where I went to the Art Institute on summer solstice, aka National Selfie Day.
This
and the guy took selfies, not with me, but just with himself and the art.
And then he sang what song?
Had a bad day.
Oh, that's
What a winner.
So
What a winner.
that wasn't really a struggle because he was just constantly making like sex jokes about the art. So I didn't really have to fill the space. It was already filled with trash. So, so not that one. But for a while in the fall, when I was going on a bunch of dates, it was like I wouldn't really like the first dates because it was like we would go out. This happened several times. We would go on first dates like in Logan, and we'd be like bar hopping and drinking like more than I like to on a weeknight. Like let's have 3 beers, or let's have like what about a 4th beer, and then we're just like talking, drinking. And I was like, I don't like this. Like it's too. I'm tired from this. Like
Yeah.
no.
It's like me like an hour ago. I'm like, let's drink.
Yeah. Well, it's a Saturday.
It is a Saturday.
I do remember, like, in middle school, like, this is kind of a similar situation. Like, I was trying to make new friends, which my current friends at the time were, like, so judgmental at me for doing. Like, I was like, I'm not going to sit with, like, my twin brother and, like, grade school friends and stuff. I'm just going to, like, sit with, like, Taylor and, like, because I want to make some new friends, too. And they were like, you're not sitting with us. You're sitting with them. And I'm like, it's only 2 tables away. It was, like, such a big deal for some reason. So I was trying to sit with this group, and I was really only friends with, like, this guy Taylor and really no one else.
Wait, how old are you?
Ryan.
I was, like, 13. So I was, like, trying to make these new friends, and I was, like, so insecure about, like, if they, like, liked me or not, or any sort of silence was awkward, kind of like a first date. So I would just, like, talk to fill it any silence.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember, like, my friend Taylor was moving back to Michigan, and it was, like, the last day, and he was like, bye to you, and he was like, bye, Miles, and he was like, and I hope to God you learn to shut the hell up. Like, said that to me.
Oh my God.
Said that to me, but I took that and was like, oh shit, I guess I was talking too much. And then I did it, so then I was always cognizant of it. And as a twin, I can always look at Zachary, because then all through, like, middle school and high school, I was like, Zachary doesn't know when to shut up. And I learned how to shut up because someone told me I needed to shut up. So that was like a split in Zachary and me.
That's still kind of mean that he said that, though.
It's middle school. Everything's mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
That's so mean.
Granted, I was pretty much bullied in middle school.
Oh yeah, John's middle school bully years.
I mean,
in Canada?
I was like a depressed, young gay kid who had moved to Canada without wanting to, so that's what I had. That's how I took it out. I'm not proud of it, but my nickname was the American Psycho, so.
Oh my God.
Had kids seen that movie?
Yeah, I had it though.
But other kids
But they
have?
also gave me that nickname like the first week of school when I was there. So
'cause
that
you were
probably,
American.
so I probably did not.
Oh my God, middle school's awful.
Middle school is
Oh God, I hated middle school.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But that is horrible that he said. But it's, I do think, because that's kind of what you say about that stuff, Miles. It kind of goes against everything I usually believe about that stuff, where I kind of usually think that people have to learn their own lessons.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really force someone to learn something about themselves.
Unless they ask.
Unless they're Miles, I guess. You just
Yeah.
tell Miles something, and he's like, oh, I guess I talked to him.
Got it.
You're like, Miles, you insufferable piece of shit. You talk too much, and you're like, oh, well, maybe.
Maybe I do.
So my first date happened. My most recent one happened last night.
That was the first date? So this is Liz, who you
Liz.
mentioned on the podcast, who you've worked with for like over a year.
Oh, okay. When you say it like that, like we've honestly,
I mean,
I
like
can
not.
count on one hand the time.
Yeah, this isn't a job you're going to every day, but you've like.
She was your boss.
Now she is.
And now, no, I'm just joking.
No, yeah, and like it was. I honestly kind of worried about like awkward silences and awkward pauses and stuff, but like there was not any at all. It was,
That's a
really
very good sign.
really good conversation. Of course, we like hung out before.
Right.
Now, is she a talker?
Yeah,
Oh.
she is a talker. Yep. So weird to say that because she listens to this podcast.
It's not bad to be a talker.
I
We're all
no,
talkers.
no, but it's just like I like it's like she's in the room in a way, and I'm like,
You're talking behind her back in front of her face.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god. But okay, so before that, my last date was like 3 years ago. And that date was awkward a little bit. Yeah.
So, you talking more or less than the other person?
Like the same amount. I think a little bit less. I think looking back on it so long ago, but
I really feel like the worst situation is to be in where you're talking on the first date and the other person just like isn't saying anything.
oh yeah, like it was just.
And they act like they don't need to.
Oh.
Have you ever been in that situation?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know if it's some sort of power play
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. It's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like I'm just asking questions over and over, and they just aren't even giving me the stuff to ask more questions with.
Mhm.
It's like-
Right. Oh, that's like
What?
talking to my students. Yep. Like you like ask like an open-ended question, and then they just like, yeah. It's like, okay, you clearly don't want to fucking talk to me, so bye.
What's your favorite color? Yes.
Talking on your phone, like.
Oh, texting and stuff?
Yeah. Do you guys
You mean texting or you mean talking on the phone?
talking using your phone?
Okay.
In general.
Well, because talking on the phone is its whole other beast where you're like...
Who do you talk on the phone to?
My mom
Work.
and Zachary, my brother, and sometimes Megan. I like talking on the phone. It's kind of hard, but it's mostly good.
I only talk to Zachary on the phone.
Oh,
And work.
cute.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have like one or two good phone friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get that relationship going with someone.
Right.
But I do think it's good to have like a couple people like that, you know, like my mom and my friend Taylor, you know, are my phone friends.
I mean, like, I wish like Jamie and I did it, but it's just like not in our style.
Right.
I've called Jamie on the phone before. It's been like fine.
Yeah.
But with
It's not
our
my
style
style.
is like G chat.
Oh, see, yeah.
Like I've been G chatting Jamie except for like 8 years or something. Well, there was a gap actually. It was like 2 years, and there was a gap of like 4 years where she wasn't working in a job where she was on G chat, and now she's like back on it, and I'm like, yes.
I want to use G-Chat.
Because I'll like find a picture of like a Korean girl group, send it to her, and be like, which outfit would you wear? And she's like, can I mix and match? I'm like, yes. And she's like, those shoes. I hate that hair. I'd wear that shirt. Like we'll play those games on G chat.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
I mean, I talked to her through text and Insta.
I prefer G chatting to
I
text.
really like the new like Google Chat app, the Allo one, because you can send like little tiny videos that just show up as like a little circle in the chat, and then it's just like a 10-second clip, and you just hold down a button to do it.
Oh.
And it's like so fun because like you can just like it's kind of like a snap, but they don't have to go like open something up or anything. It's just part of the conversation. So I send it to like my brothers and my boyfriend, and you know stuff like that.
That's
cool.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
Anything that fucks over Snapchat, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back into it because I like met one person who was like, I do it all the time, and I was like, I want to be friends with you, so I'm gonna try and do it. And
Oh my
I
god.
couldn't sustain.
It's hard. It's like a young person's game.
Yeah, and people who do it always. It's like
All the
Instagram
time.
stories, kind of where like it's like they are always Snapchat.
I love Instagram stories. I don't know why. I just like it more than Snapchat. I love Instagram. Fuck Snapchat. Don't like you.
There was this girl on this trashy Japanese reality show I was watching that was like, I Instagram in my dreams. I was
Oh my
like,
God.
that's too much Instagram.
That happened to me.
So-
Oh my god.
It kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
want to ever reach that
No,
level of social media
Absolutely not.
involvement.
Questions? Let's look at questions.
Questions.
Can you pull them up on your phone? So this question is, how do you network professionally in the age of Me Too? I feel like
I mean,
relevant.
someone tell me, you know.
oh my god. I just want to say that networking's dumb. And no, like when I was trying to get my advertising job, I was networking so hard with everybody. Like when I was finishing school, like anytime I was at like a party with people I didn't know, would just bring up my situation. I'd be like, oh yeah, they'd be like, what do you do? I'd be like, well, I'm finishing school and I'm trying to get a junior copywriter position at an ad agency in Chicago. Like, I would just drop that whole thing and be very specific about what that meant. It didn't give me shit because even when I was specific, people don't understand what a copywriter at an ad agency is. And they would be like sending me copywriter jobs for like lamp companies and stuff.
Well,
and
I
would
help you.
That's not helpful. That's like a
they
job in a
try,
field that
though.
I
They
don't.
put you good vibes and out in the universe.
I need more than a vibe. Like, I was trying to network for like I remember one person I Facebook messaged him and I was like, he was like, what are you looking for? And I was like, copywriter, entry-level copywriter position at an advertising agency.
Yeah.
And then he sent me like a social media job at like in-house at like a furniture store. And I was like, no. So it like networking did nothing for me.
Well, but that's different than, say, if you were like professionally networking like at, something where
an
advertising
event.
people would be.
Right.
Because otherwise you're just kind of throwing a line into the open ocean and like hoping the correct fish is going to bite.
Yeah,
you know what
that
I mean?
is exactly what I was trying to do.
Yeah, but if you're like at, say, like I've been to like tech kind of networking things, and I've been at like kind of comics events and stuff like that, and I just like I think my fail in regards to that is like I am too keen to like be like, here's my business card. Here's like what I'm trying to do. Because like anytime I've been trying to get into something, it's been like that where I'm like, I want to do it. And then like, but people see that energy and they're like, no. It makes people like close down.
It's too pushy.
It's too pushy. And then I feel like when a few years ago, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to be myself, be my rad self. And like people can just like come to me and see the rad shit I'm doing, whatever. Like that. And I think people who are successful networkers just go to the right places and are at the right places and are like natural.
Yeah, like those mixers or whatever. Like events. Or they just like it naturally occurs at work for them or whatever.
Yeah.
But like also LinkedIn too. I like was at a phase where I was like liking everybody from high school just to like get the most. Yeah.
I just feel like LinkedIn is like, I just don't get it.
I think it depends on your
don't
field for
sometimes
sure.
get it either.
I never used it until advertising and like my website link is on it and like recruiters use it. Like every recruiter we talk to is like, I use it all the time to find people. So I think it depends on the field.
Have you ever gotten a creepy message on LinkedIn?
No.
Yeah.
Have you?
Well,
no.
I was talking to a creepy person on it, but it wasn't a creepy message.
I just have seen like people women I know and stuff like post on Facebook like screen caps of like conversations like randos have like they're like, I see that you work at blah blah blah, and also let's go on a date.
Oh my god, that happened to me.
So we have another question.
But I don't want.
I mean, I'll talk.
Oh no, we can talk about it.
Sorry, another.
What is
the question? So this question is, do I need my moles checked, and like how much do I need to stay out of the sun?
Well, stay out of the sun.
But how do you get like a fucking beautiful?
No, okay, here's what I think: tans are overrated. Unless you're like a naturally tan person, like you know what I mean. Then you like look gorgeous with your tan. But I just think for like people who don't have a natural tan, it's like at a certain point, all you're doing is like damaging your body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like not to look that. Usually, if it's not your natural skin tone, you just look kind of weird if you get too tan anyway. So it's like. It just, to me, seems like a, lost cause.
But they should get their moles checked.
But they should get their moles checked, for sure. Well,
like, my dad they found, like, skin cancer and just, like, 2 little things that they're just gonna, like, remove or whatever. And I was like, Dad, did you wear, like, sunscreen and stuff? And I think the answer was, like, no. But one of the spots, like, my dad always runs with gloves on because he got frostbite as a kid. So even when it's like quite warm, he'll still have gloves on. So he was like, I mean, that part was always covered and I still got it there.
So yeah.
I want to say about the tan thing that I fucking love my tan, and I've always been curious of like, what I would look like if my whole body were tan, and every summer I'm like, should I do that? But then I'm like, I feel like it's so bad for me but it's like, I always want to see, like, if my whole body were this color of my arm.
Well, I mean, there's nothing
Gorgeous.
wrong with, like, sunbathing, like, a couple days with, like, some sunscreen on or whatever. I'm just saying, like, people go overboard, and, like, there's a certain point where, like, at least me, like, my parents live in Arizona now, and I'm, like, down there fairly often, and it's, like, at a certain point, my body just, like, doesn't want to tan anymore, and I feel like, or, like, it gets, like, the graph starts
There's,
to
like, a
kinda,
maximum time per day.
Right.
And your sun can,
or, like, in general, like, I'll be outside for a while, I'm like, oh, I'm just, like, not really getting any more tan. I feel like people still go hard after that, and then I feel like now you're just, like, destroying your skin cells. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna look 10 years older in 5 years. You know what I mean?
Right, that's what I'm scared of.
You know, get that Egyptian magic on. Egyptian magic.
What's that?
It's a mask.
It's a multi-purpose skin cream, and
Oh,
it is...
I'm thinking the Aztec mud thing.
Oh, Aztec mud is great, too. But Egyptian magic is the secrets of how the pharaohs stayed looking. Okay? And
Do you have it? Do you use it?
I use it. I use it every day. Except we
Oh,
just
wait,
ran out right
you have
before
good
this.
skin.
You know, for how hard I lived in my 20s.
Oh my god.
/ am still living. I think that I've done okay. You know, anyway, Egyptian magic, that's my plug.
Oh.
There's a crazy backstory behind it about how the founder of it, like, some rando was like, let me teach you the secrets, and then visited him every week for, like, years, teaching him how to combine olive oil and bee products into the secrets of the pharaohs. And now he goes by Lord Pharaoh...
What?
Imhotep Amun-Ra.
What? Is that true?
It's true. And it's, you know, there's a New York Times article you can read about it.
I will.
I'm not making any of this shit up.
Imhotep? From the Mummy, the movie?
I think that's a legitimate...
I think that's a real person.
It's an Egyptian name, yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not saying that he legitimately... But that shit works. That's what I'm saying.
I really want
and it feels great, and it doesn't, like, it's not too oily, and there's no weird shit in it. It's just literally, like, olive oil and, like, bee crap.
I think they officially have to give us money now.
What's that?
I think they officially have to give the podcast money.
Well, I first heard about it on, like, some celebrity plugged it on a podcast, and I was like, I'm with it.
I really want the theme song
like
to
a
be...
true basic bitch.
Oh my god. I really want the theme for that product to be Sierra's Love and Sex and Magic, but just to be Love Egyptian Magic.
Oh my god, I love Sierra.
I know.
Yeah.
She's great.
This is getting fucking hot.
Okay, sorry. Successes of the week.
Yeah.
/ since Wednesday when we recorded.
Wait, did you go first last time for success?
You should go first because I have no idea.
Okay. So my success for the week was, previous episode, I mentioned that I triple booked myself for Saturday. I fixed it in a way. So covered my shift at the bar. I talked to my manager at my 9 to 5 about working only for an hour instead of 2. Then I talked to Lagunitas. I'm like, hey, I'm coming in at 10:30. They're like, okay, cool. And it worked out timing-wise. I also forgot my power cord for my laptop, and I had to work at Starbucks. Not supposed to. But I did it, and yeah, it's done. So, success. Yeah. Logistic things.
Yeah, making your many jobs work.
Right. It was very nerve-wracking, and I'm like, oh my god, I should not have 3 jobs. Why do I have 3 jobs?
You have to feed your kids.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kids' names.
My boobs.
Maya boobs. Maya.
Great.
Think of like my kids, like my boobs.
I like how your go-to for any question where you don't know the answer is just my boobs.
My boobs. Yeah.
I don't. It's only been since Wednesday.
Today's Saturday.
Today is Saturday. I mean, it's boring, like, but I met with a locksmith today. It's all gonna be boring with house shit. So I went to the condo today, and honestly, like, I've been going to the condo a lot, like, in kind of the evening, so I was like, ew, did I buy, like, a really dark condo? Like, is there no sunlight? But today I was there at, like, 11 or, like, 10:30 a.m., and I was like, no, it's cool. There's lots of sunlight, so there's some sunlight hitting the floor, and we're okay. You haven't just, like, thrown away tens of thousands of dollars on a dark hovel hole. But, so that was positive, and then I had a locksmith in because I literally have not been able to get in the front door of the apartment. Like, the keys do not turn in the locks. It's so shitty. And if there's ever a fire, I'd be, like, trapped inside because it's, like, one of those locks you have to unlock it to go out. Both doors you have to unlock to go out of the apartment. So if there was a fire, you would, like, die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a locksmith in, and $155 later, got some new keys, and everything is, like, good. And he let me use his power tool.
Ooh.
We fucked. No, I'm kidding. No, there were some screws in the wall that I, like, absolutely was trying for days to get out of the wall, and he was like, do you want to just use my electric drill thing? And I was like, this is so fun. I feel so straight, and, like, I love this. Like, I was, like, standing on top of a bucket, like, unscrewing these screws, and he was, like, spotting me, and I was like, this
Is
is...
that like a porno?
I mean, he was just, like, some, dude, but...
Hey, that's how else.
Alone in my condo, so... Okay, that's the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We are running out of questions. Questions.
Listeners, I know one of you. Mm-hmm.
Yes. idkpod@gmail.com. Also, we're trying to get to 10 reviews because we're going to do, like, a special, super secret, Sweet 16 surprise.
Yeah, that Miles is going to create because he does all the work for this podcast.
I've got a question for you guys.
Oh.
How do I thank you guys enough for having me on this podcast?
Oh my God. You don't have to thank us because you're a loyal listener.
Yep, you
are.
I am. I also want to say I'm pro Marika's camel toe comments. Male camel toe comments.
Male camel toe comments.
This is my last words.
Yes! That's amazing. Yes.
Okay, well, on that note, bye.
Bye. It's over. Stop being proud.